Welcome to the 10 and 10 podcast. I am your host, Joseph James, and today I have one of my favorite guests, which is anyone in the wellness community. We have Darien Pruitt, who is the founder of the Zen Den of Gilbert. Darien, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. This is
Absolutely.
exciting.
Yeah, it is. So you have a great story. You have one of my favorite stories because I love the hero's journey. I love great origin stories, and you certainly have that. So tell me, you now have the Zen Den of Gilbert. We'll get into all the different modalities that you work in. But before you were into wellness, you were kicking ass in the corporate world.
That's correct. So I didn't go to college. I dropped out of school. I got my GED. And just really worked my way up in the corporate world. Beginning in 2003, I began in the electrical industry and just climbed my way to the top into sales leadership.
Okay,
Yes.
Awesome. Now, fulfilling, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's not like you left that because you hated it.
Correct. So I was at the height of my career, I would say, when I decided to step into something new, I guess we could say.
Now, what was the catalyst? What caused you to take such a monumental shift?
So it's a really good question. So it was a culmination of things. In 2020, I quit drinking, and I feel like after that, things just kind of really started, I don't want to say spiraling, because everything happens for a reason, but I would say when we got to 2022, my mom had been diagnosed with cancer in 2020, and she wasn't doing well. That's
a tough year to find out something like that.
Yeah, it was tough. By 2022, she wasn't doing well. And then I was probably, experiencing burnout at that point in my career, as well as a really great friend of mine had passed away early in 2022. So it was a buildup of several different things that caused me to actually just pause and say, there's more to life.
Yeah.
So at that point, I had taken a month off of work, and I was like, okay, when I get back, let's see how I feel, if anything's changed. And in that month, I realized that I needed a bigger hiatus. So I left my job and went to yoga teacher training and decided I was going to start the Mobile Yogi, which was a mobile mindfulness wellness business that I was taking into other corporate businesses to teach them about mindfulness and how to slow down a little bit.
Now, how long or what role did yoga play in your life leading up to 2022?
So I had dabbled in yoga until about 2020. So after I quit drinking, which was in November of 2020, I really leaned into the yoga community.
It's funny, most people started drinking in November 2020.
I think my body had enough at that point because it definitely threw up signs and told me. So it's so true. But that was pretty much the end of it. And then decided shortly after that I was just going to find something that felt good to me. So I was never a churchgoer. I didn't want to do AA. It just didn't resonate with me.
Sure.
So I'd lean into the yoga community and decided I wanted to build a community myself.
And today we have the Zen Den of Gilbert.
Yes.
So talk to me about that.
So about 8 months into the Mobile Yogi, I had immediately joined the Gilbert Chamber right when I had graduated my yoga teacher training, and as soon as I knew that I was starting this business. And I had connected with a woman who had studio space and wanted to share it. And then shortly after I moved in with her, she was kind of done being in the space, so she moved out, and I took over the lease from her.
Nice. And you offer some of my favorite things, top being sound healing.
Yes.
So we were talking a bit beforehand that when I first discovered sound healing, for me, I was very skeptical. And I went through the first sound healing and came out a believer. It was amazing. I saw the colors. It was just a visceral, emotional experience, probably because I was so skeptical to see that, wow, frequencies, energy, vibrations, it's real. It really has an impact on who you are. That has to be so rewarding.
It really is, and I love to hear those types of stories. I have to tell you that when I come out of a sound healing, I come out with different business ideas. So if there's any entrepreneurs watching this, that's just something that happens for me because you get the opportunity to just quiet your mind and just lean into the vibration and the sound, and you never know what's going to vibrate out.
I think that's what I love most about the wellness community is what you're doing is not putting on something. You're stripping away and getting in touch with your true, authentic self.
100%.
And that's why I was so excited to learn that I was going to be talking to you today, because I could talk about this forever. I mean,
yes, this is the whole podcast in itself.
Oh, indeed. All right, so aside from sound healing, aside from yoga, you also get into Reiki. You do retreats,
correct?
Women's events.
Yes.
Let's go.
So
let's get into it.
So the thing that I found has really resonated. Obviously, all of these things are, life changing. Help you lean into yourself. Help you rediscover yourself or discover yourself for the first time. But what I found is the women's circles have been, I would say, the most rewarding for me. So we offer them every 2 weeks. It is just an opportunity for women to get together and just talk about things. So I'll bring up just some type of question. So last week it was, what is something you're trying to let go of? And that just opens up all kinds of conversations. So these are all women that don't know each other. They've never met each other before. We attract people from all walks of life, all different situations, whether it's a single mom, newly divorced, new to town. It's just been beautiful to see these communities come together, because as I mentioned, when I quit drinking, I really didn't have community. I didn't have anywhere to go. So now that we have these safe spaces for women to come, it's definitely been rewarding and fills my heart every single time. And with that, it inspired me to start my coaching business. So all the journey that I've been through, everything that's led me to this, I feel like I wish I would have known this,
Oh, yeah.
Everything happens for a reason, and here we are, but now I can share that with others.
Now, the type of women, is it usually the same type, or do you get a variety of CEO women and stay-at-home moms and the like?
All of the above.
Yeah.
So we attract a lot of very high-powered, high-performing women, and I think it makes sense, because as high performers, we're always going, we're always doing. We don't really slow down and take time for ourselves. So
Finding that balance.
100%. So this gives them the opportunity to be able to slow down and connect with like-minded women.
That's great. Mm-hmm. Guys, why don't we have stuff like that? Right,
should we start a men's circle?
We got to go to the sports bar, I guess. And I don't even understand
a little bit different
fantasy
vibe.
football, so I'd probably be more happy at the women's circle.
And you make a really good point, because the men that we do attract to the studio, so we're not a women's only community. We're not a women's only wellness center, but that particular event is just for women.
Yeah.
But I have thought multiple times of we should have this either for couples or for men, just something similar where people can get together and just talk about things outside of sports.
And and community post-COVID is completely unrecognizable.
100%.
I mean, in one way, it's kind of a blessing, because our whole world got etch-a-sketched, right? And I'd say shaken up, because community had been online. And then all of a sudden now you could only do online,
yes.
Right? And now we're all coming out and I don't know what right looks like anymore. So I love that you're building a community based around wellness, where people can truly tap into authentic versions of themselves and each other.
100%. That's what we say, every women's circle, thank you for showing up for yourself and for each other, because the more we do that, the more ripple effects that we can make is when we're connecting with ourselves and with each other.
And for those that have never experienced this or have never been to the Zen Den, would I'm trying to think of what a skeptic might think, that you're all kind of, bowing to the same, ideology, or are people just because I know the answer, but as you discover your truth and who you are authentically, you're finding you're an individual part of a community.
100%.
I don't want to put the answer in your mouth.
No, and I see what you're saying, and I'm glad that you asked that question. So I think there's probably perception that it's very woo,
right.
or that we, to your point, subscribe to a particular religion or something like that. And that's definitely not the case. We encourage anybody who, from any walk of life, whatever belief is, to come and join us. And honestly, when you're able to spend time with yourself and slow down, so maybe it's yoga, maybe it's sound bath, maybe it's a Reiki session, that really actually does help you connect to your higher power and to yourself.
Yeah. Because I think the only thing that really is uncomfortable is the inauthentic.
Yes, 100%.
And I think the longer you walk down that authentic journey, the more obvious and even like the vibrate, you can feel the denseness
Yes.
of it.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
So we welcome everyone. You don't have to believe in anything. You don't have to believe in anything that we may believe. Which
You can come as a skeptic.
You can come as a skeptic, and we encourage it.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Darien, this has been, I mean, I could talk about this forever. This has been so much fun having you on, learning about the Zen Den. I got to come check it out. And if you are looking to resonate around other authentic people, people that are walking in wholeness, in wellness, in balance, or if you're saying, I don't have any of that and I want it, well, then perhaps you should go to Gilbert and check out the Zen Den and hang out with Darien and her crew of awesome people. So thank you again for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Once again, how can people find you?
So you can find us online at thezendengilbert.com. All of our modalities, everything is available on the website, and all of my contact info is there too. So if you want to reach out to me directly, you can send an email to thezendengilbert@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to connect.
Excellent. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.